Hey, Andrew here for mynexttablet.com, today with an unboxing of the Lenovo Tab7 Essential. Alright, this is the Lenovo Tab7 Essential. It was released in the United States in December 2017 and is now getting available in Europe and should be pretty much everywhere else in the world. There's also a Lenovo Tab7 with a little bit better hardware, mainly a better display, and that Lenovo Tab7 is sometimes called Lenovo Tab47 HD, for example in Thailand, but those tablets are identical. But this is the Tab7 Essential, and I'm pretty sure it has the same name everywhere as far as I was able to find out. And yeah, it's a new version of the Lenovo Tab7 Essential. Don't get confused with those names. And the Lenovo Tab7 Essential was released about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago. It was one of the cheapest Android tablets available, a direct competitor to the Amazon Fire. And yeah, this one is as well. And I reviewed that one and also the Lenovo Tab7 Plus, which I still have here, by the way. And those tablets are pretty similar. The main difference of the Tab7 Essential is the operating system now. It's shipping with Android 7.0 Nougat, while the Tab7 Essential was shipped with Lollipop, and the other Tab7 tablets with Marshmallow. And sadly, I don't think they will get updated. Alright, let's unbox the Tab7 Essential. We've got the tablet here. Then we've got warranty and quick start guides. And then of course a standard USB 2.0 to micro USB cable, so no USB Type-C here. And then a standard charger, now the European one. I'm in Germany right now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what we get inside the box. So let's take a look at the tablet itself. You can get several versions of it with 8 GB of storage, 16 GB of storage, and 16 GB and LTE. And I have the LTE version here right now. Let's quickly go around the tablet. We've got a speaker over here, a 2 megapixel webcam, then a 7-inch display. That's why it's called Lenovo Tab7 Essential. And yeah, down here we just have some stickers. On the back we have, first of all, a full plastic body, as you might imagine. The price starts at 79 US dollars, 79 euros, and probably very similar elsewhere in the world. And obviously for that price we don't get a metal body, it's all plastic. It doesn't feel too bad, but if you hold it in your hands you know that it's not the most expensive tablet. We've got a 2 megapixel back camera as well. And then on the top here we've got a micro USB port, a standard 3.5mm audio jack, and behind this lid is the micro SD card slot, and it's a bit hard to get out, and the SIM card slot. I've got the LTE version, and if you have the LTE version you get a SIM card slot as well. Alright, let's close it back up and go further around. We've got a microphone on the button here, then we've got a power button and volume rockers. And that's pretty much it. That's the design of the Lenovo Tab7 Essential. So let's turn it on. Alright, I'm back. I turned on the Lenovo Tab7 Essential, connected to my Wi-Fi and my Google account, and I already downloaded a couple of benchmarks to test it out a bit. And yeah, now we can take a look at the display, the screen. It's 7 inches. And it's an IPS panel with pretty good viewing angles. The brightness is fine. It's certainly not the brightest display, but it will be fine indoors and outside in the shadow, but not in direct sunlight. It's not bright enough to really use it in direct sunlight. But the downside of this display is that it has a very low resolution of 1024 by 600 pixels. So that's actually similar to the Amazon Fire, which has the same resolution, or the predecessor has the same resolution as well. But every smartphone, even the cheaper ones, have a much higher pixel density. However, it's not too bad because the pixel density here is very similar to a 10-inch HD tablet, which is not great, but it's acceptable. Certainly at this price of starting at 79 US dollars, I could live with that because the other aspects of this display are pretty good. I noticed that it attracts fingerprints quite easily. I don't think that there's any special coating or what on here to prevent that, so you will have to wipe it regularly. Alright, let's take a look at the internal hardware, and as I said, I've got the LTE version here, and in that one is a 1.1 GHz MediaTek MTK 8735D quad-core processor, and the Wi-Fi version has just a tick faster 1.3 GHz MTK 8167D. The performance should be relatively similar, maybe there are some minor differences, but I don't expect it to have a big difference in performance between the LTE and Wi-Fi version. However, both have 1 GB of RAM and 8 GB or 16 GB of internal storage. And I don't think I would choose the 8 GB version because I took a screenshot before I installed anything, and there was 6.84 GB used already by the system, which is actually not that much, but if you have only 8 GB, then that kind of is a lot and you won't have a lot of storage to use for yourself. So I would probably choose at least a 16 GB version, but obviously there's a micro SD card slot as well. Yeah, as I said, I already tried a couple of benchmarks, Antutu and Geekbench 4, and Antutu wouldn't run. I was able to install it, as you can see, and I started the benchmark, but it wouldn't really continue. It was kind of stuck at 0%. I waited 2 times for over 20 minutes, around 20 minutes, and it wouldn't really run. So no Antutu results here. Maybe I get it running for the final review. However, Geekbench 4 did run, and I ran it twice, once after restarting, and it got 471 points in the single core test and 1,314 points in the multi-core test. Those results are not great at all, but actually it's just a bit better than the Lenovo Tab7 Essential from 1.5 to 2 years ago. That one had around 350 and 1,200 points. So the new Tab7 Essential actually is just a bit faster. Yeah, obviously the performance won't be the best. It's not a perfect gaming tablet. You won't be able to run games like Mortal Kombat 5 on here that nicely. Obviously, if they run at all, I will try that. And the performance seems to be fine for single task. I was able to use the Play Store here and Chrome, YouTube. It should be fine for that, but not really for multitasking. Like a lot of tabs, it might get in trouble with that. And the same goes for the multi-window feature. As you can see here, it certainly works. It's a part of Android Nougat, and you're able to use 2 apps side by side, like here, 2 relatively simple ones, but it's not the perfect multitasking tablet. Yeah, so don't get it for a great performance. Get it if you want to do more simple things like browsing the web a bit, light web browsing, watching some YouTube, and yeah, maybe listening to music, reading ebooks and so on. But don't get this as a gaming tablet. Alright, let's take a look at the operating system, and that is a major differentiator to the Amazon Fire, which is just a bit cheaper usually. And the Amazon Fire is running Android, but heavily customized. But this is pretty much standard Android 7.0 Nougat. The Tab7 Essential was released with Lollipop, and the other Tab7 tablets with Marshmallow. And it doesn't seem like Lenovo will update them at all. So if you want recent Android, don't get the latest ones, get the Tab7 Essential. Even this is not really recent, right? We have Android 8.0 Oreo already, and I don't think this will get Oreo, kind of. Lenovo hasn't been that great with updates in the past. Alright, and there are not a lot of apps pre-installed. As you can see, it's pretty much vanilla Android, so no heavy customization, and that is really nice. There are some apps like the Google apps. We've got Outlook from Microsoft, Skype from Microsoft. We've got a, what do we call it? File manager app, a camera obviously, a phone app, and an SMS text messaging app. Since I have the LTE version here, there's a radio app where you have to plug in headphones to use as an antenna. And that's pretty much it. So it's pretty much standard Android. And that certainly is nice and a big difference to the Amazon Fire tablet. By the way, according to Lenovo, the battery should last up to 20 hours. I'm not so sure if that will be the case. Maybe if you're in airplane mode and reading an ebook at minimum brightness. I'm not sure, but when I turned it on, it was at 52%. And a couple of hours have passed, and yes, I did run a couple of benchmarks. I actually installed an update already, updated the apps from the Play Store, but it's at 24% now. So yeah, I don't think it will get 20 hours, at least not in real life use, only under some weird low power circumstances maybe. Alright, but I will certainly do a full battery test for my final review. So my first impressions, they are a bit mixed. The build quality for the price is actually not too bad. It's not a high-end tablet at all, and it doesn't feel high-end, but I've had cheaper Android tablets in my hands in the last couple of years, so it's not too bad. The screen obviously is not very high resolution, but other aspects are fine. So for the price, I think the screen is fine. I'm not so sure about the performance. Again, it should be fine for simple tasks, but yeah, don't expect any gaming or any kind of heavy multitasking. The processor should be not fast enough for that. Yeah, it's more a tablet for single tasks and simpler single tasks. But I will certainly test it out further and try a couple of games on here for my final review. So yeah, if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you don't want to get an Amazon Fire, or you can't get an Amazon Fire, then the Lenovo Tab7 Essential might be a nice alternative if you really don't want to spend a lot of money for an Android tablet and just want to use it for simple things, and you don't care that much about performance for gaming or heavy multitasking or what. But there are some interesting alternatives. First of all, you can get the HD version of this with more RAM and a high resolution screen. But more interesting might be the Amazon Fire HD 8 or the Lenovo Tab 4 8. Not the Plus, just the standard Lenovo Tab 4 8. That one and the Fire HD 8 are very similar, but offer a noticeable better performance and a bit nicer screens. And the Lenovo Tab 4 8 has the same almost vanilla Android interface, so you won't lose anything there. Alright, that's a quick unboxing and hands-on with the Lenovo Tab7 Essential. If you have any questions, just write them down below. I'm NJ from mynexttablet.com. Thanks for watching.